Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of Keep Calm with yours truly, Kent. Joining with me today, we have.
This is Ben.
And it's Andres.
Hello, this is Raul.
So, this being the first episode, let me try my best to explain exactly what Keep Calm is about. So, we're going to be a show that we're going to take the latest controversies, whether it's video games, games related, anything really. We'll start with video games and we'll work our way from there. And we're going to help you guys, the listener, and ourselves, from getting too excited or too off the wall crazy, too angry, too upset, and we're all gonna just keep calm together, and let's just tackle it at a very, very low expectations level.
Basically,
That's right.
we're
Low
all
expectations.
Gonna keep calm.
We're gonna keep calm
With
Kent.
That's right. I feel like I feel like we're at a fireplace right now.
I feel like Kent is by far one of the calmest people I've ever met.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Well, hopefully that's what his show will work.
By the end, there you go.
We're gonna be the ones making people angry.
Probably.
They're gonna be yelling at us.
Just so. Oh my God! You can't.
God damn it!
There you go. Why is he so calm?
Why is he so calm?
It's really funny because people get angry when you're calm. So there you go.
Yeah.
We're
So
gonna get a lot of hate
there
mail.
you go.
No, I'm just kidding.
A lot of great
that's
things
right.
happens when you're calm.
Yeah.
That's
So that's
right.
where we're gonna all keep calm together.
That's right. So, as our very first inaugural Keep Calm with Kent, what is our very first topic, Kent?
Well, we're gonna actually talk about the aftermath of the Nintendo Direct
Okay.
event that just happened as of this podcast a couple of days ago. 2 days ago, I believe.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I'm not too familiar. I mean, I heard of some of the topics that they announced, but could you elaborate for me, like what actually some of the things that happened during the?
Sure. So, a quick overview of it let me run through all the topics about it first, and then we're going to talk about them individually.
Sure.
Some of the highlights, things that I think you should be pleased, excited, are the new Monster Hunter bundle is coming out.
Okay. Very nice.
GameStop exclusive. We could talk about that. New Fire Emblem
Okay.
is
Ooh,
coming out.
Love that game.
I believe the last one came out 2 years ago.
Yeah. About to use
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Awakening,
Yeah.
The 3DS.
Also, a new Majora's Mask special edition
Ooh,
for the new
I'm ready for
3DS is
that.
coming out.
Very nice. Very nice.
Also, something we could talk about the whole NeoGAF NetherRealm is on fire in this one right now.
Okay.
And then things that we could really be keeping calm on are the following: the new 3DS in the US will only be the 3DS XL.
Oh,
The regular version will not be sold here in the US.
right.
So it's just the more expensive one.
We should
Really?
keep calm.
So keep calm.
Keep calm, guys.
Keep calm. Everyone keep
Keep calm.
calm.
Keep calm.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm not calm.
We're gonna escalate here. On top of that, the one that's gonna be sold here in the US, not only you could only buy the more expensive one, you also have to buy the charger separately.
What?
Okay, keep calm. Keep calm.
We're trying. I'm trying very hard.
You know.
And also, in addition to that, right now it's just selling out everywhere, and there's price gouging. Retailers cannot catch up, and there's a lot of upset over Nintendo. Everyone feels that Nintendo could do a better job regulating the marketplace or having more, and this seems like to be a Nintendo purposely fixing the supply chain.
Okay.
So a combination of all of that is just lighting up the internet over fire, in this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're here to keep calm.
Okay.
All right.
Stop saying that.
So, what of all the news, Ben? Since you're new to the news,
hmm
what is it that got you like the most? Perks up your ear the most.
Well, I think for me, it's that I think it's interesting that the U.S. is actually getting only the expensive version. I mean, that I can see, whatever, okay. But then I guess the fuse, the thing that lit the fuse for me in a way is that you have to buy the charger separate. That kind of like, why would you want to do that? It's just so weird that because normally, things like this, like even like a phone, for example, when you buy a phone, you get a charger. When you buy, let's say, like a new system, game system, you get at least some type of plug to charge, but you had to buy the charger separate from the actual 3DS XL, is it?
Yeah.
So I'm like, why would they want to do that? It's just like weird,
And this may very well be the first consumer gadget not to come with a charger,
All right, yeah, it's really
at
weird.
least in the U.S.
Right, yeah. So yeah, I'm just like really confused about that. Like, why would you want to do that? Do you just want to make more money off of it? Do you just want to like, I don't know, like, or they just cannot compete completely, like you said, keep up
Those
with
are
the
too many
demands?
questions. Keep calm.
There you go. But yeah, so what do you think is your perspective why they're doing that, Kent? I mean,
So yeah, let's talk about that. Combing through the internet, and I think the reasons are valid. A lot of people felt that Nintendo is basically just price gouging. It's just grabbing money, literally grabbing money away from your pockets and say, "Give me the dimes from your pocket," right? And that they're doing this solely because they can is what a lot of people are saying.
Okay.
Right? That hey, they got you now. They're gonna, you're gonna buy no matter what. It's sold out. Even without the charger, it's selling out.
that is crazy.
Right? And so everyone is saying that, this is just Nintendo being greedy about it,
Mhm.
right? That they know that they could get away with it, and so
Right.
they did, right?
Right.
And so they plan, execute, and reaping the rewards,
Okay, yeah.
right? Which may or may not be true, but I think that's not a reason to be upset,
Okay.
right?
And I want to add to that, and I'll make it short. So the argument for that, is pretty much yes, Nintendo is an evil company that does not know how to please its audience. It's a company that is always looking out for the money and themselves, and that in every move and step that Nintendo does, they are looking to screw over their consumers. Right?
Really? 'Cause-
And I've had so many discussions about just the charger, right? And on the opposite, people are saying that about Nintendo, right? Nintendo doesn't know how to market. Nintendo's not as good as it used to be. Nintendo's horrible. Nintendo's gonna go bankrupt. They're gonna be gone in a couple of years. So over a charger, by the way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think that we should just all keep calm.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious though.
Yeah.
I think that we, charger, games didn't come with chargers back then. You didn't.
Yeah.
Like I had a Game Boy Advance. I had what's it called? I had the Game Boy, and I was just like, I never thought about charging it or anything like that.
But to be fair, a Game Boy
would always-
was a battery
you would always
powered.
have,
Yeah,
you would
those
always
things
have
were like-
batteries.
those things
Yeah.
So
were
I mean, I
battery-powered.
didn't know that until people started using the SP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when the SP came out, all of a sudden there was a charger, and I was just like, SP.
Yeah.
Charger. It didn't
Yeah.
matter to me that much just because, I just kept playing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, and people have said
I
that.
kept calm.
Yeah, yeah, and people have said it like, look, if Nintendo, I can't remember. Was there a statement from Nintendo regarding this?
Yeah, so the statement of Nintendo was, look, and keep in mind that this is common practice in Japan. In Japan, when they come out with a new system, they don't release new chargers, and that makes sense to me, right? So you could pass on that savings to the consumer. If I already have a 3DS and I upgrade to the new 3DS, it works the same charger. Why do I need an extra charger? No, just keep it. I'll save the money. And on the other end, it's environmentally friendly, right? Nintendo spends less money on chargers because you already have one. Why should they make doubles? But Nintendo's main concern was that, look, we could charge you $220 for this system
Okay.
if we include the charger, or you have the charger, so let me pass on the savings to you,
Right.
and you only pay $199.
And then the counter argument on that is that if that was the case, they should not make a proprietary charger. that it should just been like a micro USB, like an iPhone, like a phone charger, right? The new
Just a
PSV
typical generic
generic charger,
Yeah.
right? And then saves everyone some money, which I don't think it's a completely valid argument either, because it actually turns out, and this is from I don't have any hard data to support it, but
Right.
I would imagine that it actually costs more money to use the USB chargers. Or maybe not. I mean, maybe it's not proprietary. Somebody must have hold the patent for it.
Yeah.
But having going proprietary, you don't have to pay that cost up front. There's
Yeah.
no licensing. There's none of that, right?
Right.
You do lose it's not universal.
Yeah.
You have to buy a proprietary product.
Yeah.
Right. But a lot of times that's what everyone is fighting for, to be the universal. Every product has come out is proprietary.
Yeah.
It's only universal when everybody else gave up and go, okay, we'll use this one.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and and going along those lines, many people I've spoken to about this issue, right? About this issue about the charger, I always ask, are you gonna buy the new 3DS? I would say 9 out of 10 people that I asked that question, they said no. And I go, is it
interesting.
because of the charger? They go, no, it's because of a lot of other issues. Then when I inquire about their gaming, they don't even play Nintendo systems. They don't even buy Nintendo games.
Right.
So a lot of the uproar of the internet, it's not so much this idea that Nintendo is making an error to the consumer, but it's more about jumping on the bandwagon of attacking Nintendo
and-
for every small thing they do.
And you make a good point, because if you're upset that Nintendo is not including chargers, which you have the perfect right to be so,
Right.
right? However, do realize that this release is not for you. This release is for Nintendo players who has the regular Nintendo, wants to upgrade, right? This is no different than like just an iPad upgrade,
Right.
It's playing to the core,
Yeah.
right? And realize that you will probably get a better deal down the line,
Yeah.
right? All you have to do is just wait, and you will probably get. There will be, I almost certain of it, will be a new 3DS that comes with a charger down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in a bundle.
Yeah, in a bundle.
Bundle,
Like
yes.
all you
Yeah.
have to do is wait.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think you and I would agree, right? Vote with your wallet.
Yeah,
That's right. Yes.
Right. And
Always
that's,
what we wallet.
I had this long discussion with other people about this. And when I made that argument, I said, well, if it's this product's not for you, well, then don't buy it. Nintendo will see, oh, you're not buying
And
it.
they
Let
will
me
include
the
it.
charger.
Yeah.
But they were even in a bigger uproar. They're saying, well, how can you say that? That logic is flawed because you're saying I can't complain. I say the best complaint you can make is don't buy the product.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Which brings us to the next one. Even if they do want to buy the product, what if they wanted to buy the regular 3DS, the new 3DS? I'm also a little upset. Keep calm. Of the naming of the new 3DS.
What is the name of the
It's
new
it's
3DS?
very iPad-esque, and when iPad did it, it was quite annoying too.
Yeah.
Plus, was it?
But yeah, the logic, I do understand it. The logic behind it is that at some point, I think the idea is that it may just be we may see another new 3DS again in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So what is the actual name of the new 3DS?
It's called a new 3DS.
That's it.
That's it.
New
That is the
3DS?
name. That is the official
So
name.
there's
Really?
the 3DS,
Of the new
and
3DS.
then the upgrade is the new 3DS. So new is used as a noun, not so much as an adjective.
So
So
what-
the noun is new 3DS. That's the name of the
That is the
thing.
official
So it will
name.
be the NN 3DS.
So wait. So
Yes.
Yes.
The NN 3DS.
so wait. So what happened to say if another 3DS, like you mentioned, it will come down the line? What will be the new 3DS called? The
They will
old
probably
3DS?
call it the new 3DS,
3DS.
X G3, kind of like what Apple does, or they go the
Right.
iPhone 5S5, the iPhone 5X, whatever. They just add a
Yeah.
letter.
I
and
know.
then-
The
Does it
DS
matter?
has become a household brand name. I mean,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
becoming synonymous with Game Boy.
Right.
And I think it wasn't until actually it was.
Yeah.
It basically replaced Game Boy.
It did.
Up
Yeah.
before the DS.
Yeah.
It was always called Game Boy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And so I think Nintendo took that route. It says, look, this is our new Game Boy name.
Yeah.
right?
The-
Right.
Before that, it was just called Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy SP, Game Boy Advance,
SP,
right?
Game Boy Pocket.
Game Boy Pocket, right? And not until the DS when the name shifted. So
Right.
their DS is the new Game Boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It
Yeah.
really
I think
is.
that's
Yeah.
what people probably forget.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's like, why is it called new 3DS? It's because DS is the new Game Boy,
That's
Yeah.
right.
right?
Yeah.
No, and you know, again, I've had this discussion so many times, and people are saying, I would like to give credit that people are just as smart as I am. So if I could go to a GameStop and go, I will take a new Nintendo 3DS. I'm gonna say, look, that the person across from me that's selling me the system knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
If people are saying people are gonna get confused, I'm thinking if you cannot be that uninformed that that's gonna confuse you in any way, shape, or form. If I go buy a iPhone, either the iPhone or the iPhone 5S, I know what I'm buying. Right.
Right.
I
Yeah.
know. I researched it. It's an expensive product.
When did the new 3DS came out in Japan?
It came out last year.
What month?
Oh
Before
man, what
Christmas?
month? It's what? Yeah, I think it was before Christmas. Yeah, yeah.
So, I think, conceivably, Nintendo could have released the new 3DS before Christmas in the US also.
It released in Australia before the year ended. It released in Europe in the beginning of the year, I want to say, and we were the last to get it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think the US actually has less stricter rules and regulations on like game buying and all that compared to other country.
Yeah, I want to say
Right.
yeah, probably yeah.
And I think part of Nintendo choosing February to release the new 3DS now and not release it either closer to the holiday season this year or before the holiday season last year, it's for that reason. I think they have anticipated that the people who would be confused buying the new or the old 3DS would have been confused during the holiday shopping season,
Yeah.
right? The gift buyers,
Yeah.
the gift givers,
Maybe.
right? By releasing it in February, you actually are releasing it to the hardcore audience.
Right. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
people who actually know.
Like
what
nobody
it-
will just go casually buy the new
Oh,
3DS
can I get a new
on
3DS?
Valentine's weekend,
That's right.
Yeah.
let alone in February.
Well, I mean, you can,
Hey, it could be a good Valentine's
Yeah.
Day gift. You know.
you can kind of already differentiate when you say, "Can I get a new 3DS? Can I get the new 3DS?"
and
Yeah.
the price point will differentiate it
Yeah.
automatically.
course.
There,
Yeah.
there won't be a misunderstanding when it comes to price point.
Yeah.
They're not the same price.
Yeah.
And again, in who remembers Final Fantasy Mystic Quest?
Me.
So Final Fantasy Mystic Quest played on the idea that Americans are too
I have
ignorant
that
to
game.
understand the basics of video games.
Okay.
Right. And with this, when I see this uproar on the naming, it makes me understand why they thought that in the first place.
Okay.
Right. So when I heard the new 3DS, I go, okay, that makes sense. But when people say, oh, I'm confused, and I'm thinking, the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest was made for you. Because it's not a big deal. It really
I love
isn't.
Final Fantasy Mystic
You
Quest.
know what it's about, but you want to complain because
You can.
I love
you
Mystic Quest.
cannot have the capacity to keep calm.
I almost
Yeah.
feel like that's a better name now. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Not
Well,
a
remember,
big deal.
Well, this is the first episode. We can always have room for.
Not a big
true.
deal with Kent.
Not a big deal with Kent.
No, it should be keep calm with Kent because it's not a big deal. There you go.
Oh, that could be your slogan.
It's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
That could be your slogan right
Yeah,
there.
that could be.
So yeah, I for me it's and I was actually when I saw the Nintendo Direct, I thought about myself like I think this is my time to buy it. Like
It is,
if
yeah.
I would buy if I would buy, which I seriously thought about buying it, and then I started reading the aftermath, and I would admit too actually that knowing that actually the size difference doesn't concern me. I would have bought the bigger one regardless.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's go big or go home.
Right.
The small one is when you're, which is understandable. The small one, my opinion, is more towards younger kids. And it's kind of the price point thing. It's cheaper, blah blah blah. You do lose. Oh, that's another thing, right? You do lose the customizable faceplate.
I want
But the
those
small
so
one-
badly.
Yeah, the big one is not.
There's
does
no
not have
customizable, yeah.
customizable.
I want the
faceplate.
standard edition.
Which is also
yeah.
weird because I would imagine it shouldn't be a hard manufacturing thing. But again, I don't think that's a reason to be, pulling out your
Yeah.
pitchforks and torches.
Yeah.
And look at it culturally, right? We're the only
So-
country where Nintendo's releasing the new 3DS that isn't getting standard or plates.
Yeah.
And that's not the fault of Nintendo, right? Nintendo, Europe, Australia, Japan, they
Yeah.
have everything. So can we blame Nintendo or can we blame the US audience?
And people have
Yeah.
tried. The Xbox, the Xbox 360 has a changeable faceplate for
Oh, yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
That's right, it
Um,
did.
That didn't work out. That got phased out.
Yeah, but so we're talking about the fact that the new 3DS XL is the only one that's going to be released
Yes.
here, and I was reading up on this because I do a lot of
Reading up.
no I do a lot
So a lot of reading up.
I do a lot of work on games and stuff like that
Yeah.
whenever I can, and it seems like these people they're not very angry. They're angry towards the fact that it's different. It is different hardware. It's the standard 3DS has a different what's it called? Has a different screen,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That this is not a night and day generational leap
yeah,
that people were looking
these
for.
people know what they're buying, and they're
Yeah.
like, well, this has got a different screen. It's not the same screen that
Yeah.
they use on the 3DS XL. I think it's an
Yeah.
AUS001 model.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that the same thing happened with what's the Game Boy SP. They used the AGS
Mm-hmm.
001 model, which was a front light.
Okay.
And now those are the ones that are very, very expensive. I would say maybe around the ballpark of $30-$50
Okay.
just for that. And they pay less for, of course, the backlit SPs.
Yeah.
So I feel like these people are in uproar because of that, which I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, that makes way more sense to me. See, that is
Yeah.
an informed consumer. They have a valid complaint that has to do with specific hardware.
Yeah.
But when someone complains about charger or about
Yeah.
other nonsense,
But
that's-
even on the
yeah.
hardware level,
The hardware,
it has not come out yet.
that's
Really?
and you can,
Yeah.
Well,
I
unless
think Raul can sort of contest to this, to the fact that the game does look a little bit different on a standard 3DS. Of course it's smaller, but
I prefer the standard.
yeah, the standard is
I
it's
like it better.
Yeah.
the color scheme in the standard is a little bit different.
yeah, but I
think
mean,
colors are
but
just
we're
a
also
little more
talking about
vibrant.
this minute
It's-
difference,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's the same uproar that the PS Vita had when they refreshed their system,
Yeah.
right? It went
And I-
from the new OLED screen to this old LCD screen,
Yeah, it was a front
And-
light, back
and
light,
right? And then there was this whole uproar about it. But then when it actually come out, you look at it. Unless you're looking at side by side, you're never gonna notice the difference.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And and a lot of, and I mean, the way I see this, have you forgotten that gameplay is king? I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's not gonna look its best, and yes, it's true. I bought the original Vita. I'm happy with it.
Same. Yeah.
Right.
same.
But if I've bought the new Vita, I would have been fine. There are a lot of things I like about the new Vita. It's smaller, it's lighter, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know-
same thing.
Honestly,
Same
I
thing with
totally
the
forgot
with
about
the,
that.
with the old PSP. I think I have the very old one, the
Right,
the
right,
chunky
right.
one.
The chunky one, yeah,
Yeah.
And to be
Right.
honest, I had broken that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
And man, it went through like years of
Yeah.
abuse. And instead of getting a new one,
Yeah.
those light models, those very sleek models,
Yeah.
I went with the old one.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? To complain, no, not even complain, just uproar about, like, are we uproaring to keep things the same? Like,
Yeah,
right?
that's-
Yes.
I'm all for pushing the boundaries, right? Get me new system all the time.
Yeah.
Keep
Here- yeah.
improving, keep upgrading, right? I don't
Yeah.
need to buy it. It's not going to affect me. I just
Right.
want it to keep getting better, right? And
Yeah.
that's the key, right? If you think that it's not good enough, don't buy it. It's going to be a better one, right? This is technology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
just gonna keep improving.
Technology will keep improving. You always
Yeah.
get something better. The new 3DS that we buy today
And
will
then-
get replaced again.
And then
Yeah.
that's where the idea that comes in, that once these old things start getting discontinued, they're gonna be put on a pedestal.
yeah,
And they're like,
yeah.
oh well, this screen is the colors are more vibrant.
Yeah.
They're it's more reflective
Yeah.
in the dark,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it's brighter.
Yeah.
And gamers are gonna notice these little things that they're just gonna, like I said, put it on a higher pedestal.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and going off of Ken's point, the uproar is is what mentioned earlier. It's just the let me take a poke at Nintendo when I could take a poke at Nintendo, right? So whenever they take a poke, whenever especially people that are Sony and Microsoft, we're very
all the
faction based,
hardcore-
Right,
so
right.
all the
then
hardcore
they'll
gamers.
let's laugh at Nintendo because they're this Japanese company that doesn't understand American gamers, and that's not true, right? I'm
Yeah.
satisfied.
true.
with
They put out
anything, yeah.
cartoony games.
Yeah.
A lot of it is usually based on the graphics.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Wii U doesn't have the graphics that
Right.
Xbox has.
Remember,
Right.
it's not always about the graphics. It's always about like the quality of the game.
But
itself.
also,
Yeah.
a lot of us
It's-
make speculations before we even have the
That's
actual
true.
hands-on
No, that's true.
time
Oh,
with it.
Yeah.
of course.
It's true.
Right,
It's like-
and it's part of fun. It's part of the gaming culture. It is
Exactly,
part
yeah.
of the video game culture.
I don't think it's just part of video game culture. It's just life itself. When you hear about one thing, it's like, let's say,
Yeah, we make judgment before we
Yeah.
actually
let's just say
do
like,
everything about it.
yeah, Apple, and
Right.
then Apple's gonna make a new computer or something. No,
Apple and
Yeah.
PC, Mac
And
and,
it
Right,
get-
exactly, yeah.
And Nintendo's just following the Apple business model, right?
Right.
Upgrade every couple years or upgrade every year,
Yeah.
and here's a new thing. It's same
I mean,
chargers.
if anything, Nintendo's following the PC model,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, how often have to keep buying new video cards or new hard
That's
drives,
true.
Exactly,
new
yeah.
RAM?
And keep that in mind, Nintendo's been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? When the
Right,
Game Boy
right.
Color is a different
mean,
color.
when
Game
you
Boy
sign-
Advance,
yeah.
what they have.
When you sign up to have video games as a hobby, video game as a hobby is not a cheap hobby.
It is
It's
not.
not a cheap hobby.
Video game as a hobby is a hobby where you're constantly pushing the boundaries of
Yeah.
technology
Yeah.
and medium.
And this technology
Right.
is
Also, you better
worth
be
a lot.
You also
Yeah.
be able to afford it. So
yeah, it's
yeah.
it's
It's
not
a first class problem.
It is
It
a
is a
first
first class problem.
right?
So
First
when
world problem.
So
right there.
first, yeah. So I mean, yeah, I think first world. So when I heard, people complain about $15 charger, I go, so let me get this straight. You have $200 to squander on something that is not essential to your life, but you're gonna complain about $15? No. If you're starving, then don't buy a video game. If you don't have the money, don't buy it because then it's an expensive hobby, right? To
It
keep
is.
that sustainable, you can spend thousands just to keep that system relevant with
Exactly.
games. So
Yeah, and then I always say, like, and this is,
There's a reason that you buy the game, basically. There's a
Yeah,
reason that you
yeah.
buy the
Yes.
console.
I mean, there are people who still believe that buying games separately from the console is just completely taboo. Like, why am I buying more? It's kind of like the printer and the ink model, right?
yeah,
Right. Like, why just keep paying and paying, right? But as a closing thought, my suggestion, and I would try to do this for the episode, is I'm gonna give out suggestions that you could use in your daily life. Keep calm with everything that
sounds-
happens.
That sounds good. That sounds
Right.
good.
My suggestions, applicable to this and also applicable as a whole, is what comes February 13th. If you're still passionate about, the 3DS, which I would imagine you would be most passionate if you want to buy it, and this is holding you back, don't buy it. Just wait.
Yeah.
There is a good chance that's what video game industry is now, that there will probably be a bundle, a price drop, something that will make up the charger price,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Majora Mask will come out on the same day. If you're a fan of that, just wait. It really doesn't change whether you play it the day 1 or the day 4 or 5 or 6. It's, if anything, you will get a better deal by waiting. You will always get a better deal by waiting in video game industry.
That's true, actually.
No.
No, it's true. Look,
I'm giving calm, though.
No.
Yeah.
Here's the
And there are
example
so many more great games that are out right now.
Yeah.
So unless you completely exhausted all of your gaming collection,
Yeah.
it's
I-
yeah, completely agree.
right?
Yeah, it's true.
So
I'm
my
I'm
advice
backlogged.
is use the 30-day rule. Wait 30 days after something comes out. If you still feel like you want to buy it, buy it. If
There
you
you go.
don't, just don't.
There you go. Yeah.
But at least give yourself 30 days.
Okay. That's
I agree
And you
with
will
that
not
I would
have a
agree.
buy remorse.
There you go.
Yeah.
agree.
I agree with it sometimes, but I'm pretty sure
Look.
that if you really want it, I suggest you go for it.
Nah.
If you really,
No, like,
really
yeah.
want it.
So
Like,
I agree with that, but I never buy a console first day. That is a dumb move.
console
Right,
or
yeah.
game?
Yeah. And
Game, you go with
Yeah.
it.
and
I
and-
say game.
And realize too that if you buy the new 3DS as good as Nintendo is, every first generation of anything is you are taking the chance.
It's
you are
true,
taking
yeah.
the risk of being the beta tester.
Yep.
You are taking the risk
yeah.
that you're gonna have a screen that maybe and I will guarantee there will probably be a news that comes out that says, "Oh, there's a dead pixel on the screen." Blah blah blah. Right. All of that. You will only have more headaches
There you
if
go.
you already have this much headache now.
Yeah.
The new
So,
3DS is hypnotic.
Make sure you don't buy it on day one, and just wait.
There you go.
Patience
There
is
will-
key.
Patience is key. Keep calm and wait.
Keep
There you
calm,
go.
guys.
Keep calm.
Keep calm is not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I think with that, we're gonna wrap up our first episode.
Okay.
All
right.
All right.
I feel calmer already.
Yeah,
I
thank
do
you
feel
guys for
calm.
joining me.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for inviting.
Yes, thank you for inviting us. A nice fireplace.
Daba daba, do 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 daba daba, ooh daba daba, do 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 daba daba, do 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 do, daba daba, do 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 daba daba, do do do, daba daba, do 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 do. I'm so in love with you. I wanna word you up into my life. Let's roll up to be a single star in the sky.
So is this gonna be a weekly show, Kent? What's
I
the
think
schedule?
this is a show that just happened whenever there's
Some type of gaming
some
Like a
news.
sort-
superhero.
some crazy debated controversies.
Right.
It's like a superhero. I'm only
You only show up when
I'm
the-
only show up when it's needed.
Yeah.
So
So
what's that quote from The Dark Knight?
It's you're the hero that we don't.
But
no,
yeah,
he's. the city needs me.
industry needs me.
It's something about he's a hero that we don't deserve, but it's a hero that we need.
Something like
Oh
Something like
man,
that.
you
What is it?
completely he's not the hero that Gotham needs. Is the hero he deserves.
That's not that either.
No, it's how it
that either.
is. Or it's not the other way. It's not the
not-
hero that he deserves. The hero he needs.
No, it's
It's not the
Oh.
hero Gotham needs.
The hero. No, it's not the hero that Gotham deserves, but the hero that Gotham needs.
So I said the first time right then.
No, you didn't. Wait up.
Okay,
it up.
guys,
Wait,
calm
wait
down.
up.
Okay, but yeah.
Keep calm.
keep
Keep
calm.
calm.
Anyway, so something around that line. It's not the hero we.
There you go. Told you. I had it
no.
right. It's not the hero Gotham deserves, but the one that
You
they
said
need.
he needs.
Here you go. He's not the hero Gotham deserves, but the one it needs right now.
No, that's not the line.
It's
Yeah.
right here.
I know, but that's not the
Okay,
line.
keep
It
calm.
is the line.
Keep calm. Keep
It
calm.
is, it
Whatever.
is, it
Whatever.
is. Yeah, but yeah,
Lieutenant
calm down.
James Gordon says he's not the hero Gotham
Oh
deserves.
man, that's it. We
But
lost
not
it.
the
We
one
lost
it needs right now.
go.
So we'll hunt him because he can't take it. Because he's not our hero. He's a silent guardian. Angel.
He lost it. He's the first guy that lost.
Yeah.
Makes me excited.
All right.
Daba daba, daba da, daba da, daba da, daba daba daba. Yes to you. Daba 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 daba. Daba 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 daba. Daba daba ba 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 ba. Daba daba. Daba 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 daba. Daba daba. Yes to you. Daba 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 daba. Daba 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 daba. Daba daba dee. Daba 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 daba. Daba 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 daba. Daba 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 daba.